So have you ever taken a really nice photo and it looks super good and everything, but it just looks like a little bland? Well, here's 3 easy ways to spice up your photos for completely free. So let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Air Vlogs. If you don't know me, my name's Caleb and I'm a young filmmaker and photographer. So if you're new here, maybe consider subscribing. But anyways, let's just jump right into these tips. Alright, so before we get into the tips, I just want to let you know that all the photos that I will be editing are all done in Lightroom on the phone or an iPad or whatever. So Lightroom, you do have to pay for, but I'm using the free version. So, yeah, you can download it right now for free. And you can do all these things that I'm talking about. Alright, so the first way that you can spice up your photos is actually using custom presets. Now, a lot of people sell their own presets, and I don't have mine, but I've made a couple, but I haven't sold them. But there's a ton of other people that sell them, so you can always buy that. But a lot of people just look over the custom presets in Lightroom, or even just in your phone, There's usually custom presets in the photo app. So yeah, just mess around with the presets, tweak it to your liking, and here's a before and here's an after, and you can tell just by throwing a preset on, it actually looks pretty good. But if you want to do a little bit more than that, I have a few more tips for you as well. Alright, so the second tip, a lot of people have been using this recently. I don't know if they've told you about it, but a lot of people have been adding grain to their photos. It's kind of weird, I don't know, because like you want like a sharp, crisp photo, and you see grain and you're like, oh, they had to crank their ISO or something like that. But a lot of people have been adding grain, and it adds like some sort of texture that makes the photo look pretty interesting. So you might not be able to notice it over YouTube and the compression over YouTube, but here's a before and an after, and with the grain, something clicks, especially when you're doing product photography. Grain just like adds that yeah, it's pretty interesting what you can do with just grain and presets. But here's my last tip, and I know this is a short video, but I really just want to get these short tips out for you and just kind of start making more of short kind of videos. So if you're enjoying these short kind of videos, maybe drop a like on today's video, and yeah. Alright, so the third tip, and this one does not require Lightroom. It actually requires a different app, and that app is called Distortions. I've been using a ton for my photos recently, and it actually looks insane. So there's a paid version for this as well, but I've just been using the free version because it has most of the cool stuff that I want. Basically, what Lens Distortion is it gives you a ton of different effects and like PNGs that you could just lay over your photos and add different effects and details and lens flares and grain and all this kind of stuff. It's actually a really cool app. So yeah, you just gotta go through, pick whatever lens distortion you want. I've really been liking just these like super plain ones that are just kind of orangey. They're called classic light hits. They're super interesting, and if you just play around with them, resize them, and put them in the corner of your photo or something like that, it adds this kind of glowy effect, and it looks really interesting. So yeah, just mess around with lens distortions, and you can find some really cool stuff to suit your photos. If you're taking a photo of like plants and you add like a lens flare, it might be a little weird, but where you'd add a lens flare is like if you're taking photos of a car or something, you put it on the headlight, stuff like that, you can do in Lens Distortions. And yeah, so it's super cool. You can just mess around with the app, and you can get some pretty interesting photos just by adding little effects on Lens Distortions. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I know it's a super short video this time around, but I really just wanted to show you these few tips that have really been making my photos look pretty interesting. If you're coming back to this channel, you probably know that I've been posting a ton of videos about my road trip, and I've taken like 700 photos or something crazy. So I've just been going through all of them and editing them and just, adding a ton of different effects and really making them pop. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of those photos, and let me know what you use to edit your photos. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one.